Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the most renowned figures in world history, was a man of extraordinary ambition, military genius. Born on August 15, 1769, in Corsica, rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most influential and controversial figures in world history. His family was of minor nobility, and his father, Carlo Buonaparte, was a lawyer who initially supported French rule over Corsica. Napoleon's early education was in France, where he attended the military school of Brienne-le-Château at the age of 9. As a young boy, he was an outsider among the French students due to his Corsican accent and background. But his intelligence and ambition set him apart. Napoleon excelled in mathematics and military strategy, subjects that would serve him well in his future career. Upon graduation, he joined the French army as a second lieutenant in the artillery. The French Revolution, which began in 1789, created an environment of political upheaval and opportunities for rising military leaders. Napoleon initially struggled to gain recognition in a chaotic France, but his talents and ambitions soon thrust him into the spotlight. His first major military success came in 1793 when he played a key role in the siege of Toulon, where he helped recapture the city from Royalist forces and British forces. His victory was a turning point in his career, earning him a promotion to brigadier general at just 24 years old. Over the next few years, Napoleon continued to rise through the ranks of the French army. But it was his Italian campaign of 1796 to 1797 that catapulted him to national fame. Appointed as commander of the French army in Italy, Napoleon displayed his military genius, winning a series of stunning victories against the Austrian and Italian forces. His campaigns in Italy not only earned him admiration across France but also secured him a reputation as one of Europe's greatest military strategists. His victories forced Austria to sign the Treaty of Campo Formio in 1797, which reshaped the balance of power in Europe and solidified his standing as a national hero. However, despite his military success, Napoleon was keenly aware of the unstable political situation in France. The French Revolution had given rise to radical political factions, and the government, known as the Directory, was deeply corrupt and inefficient. In 1799, Napoleon saw an opportunity to seize power when the Directory was overthrown in a coup d'état known as the 18 Brumaire. Napoleon, with the help of his allies, took control of the government and established the consulate, a new executive branch with him as first consul. This marked the beginning of his political ascendancy. As first consul, Napoleon worked to stabilize France, consolidating power and implementing a series of reforms that would have a lasting impact on the country. He centralized the administration, reformed the legal system with the Napoleonic Code, and restored stability after the chaos of the Revolution. One of his most significant achievements was the Concordat of 1801, an agreement with the Catholic Church that helped reconcile the Church with the state, calming religious tensions in France. His reforms and leadership earned him widespread support, and in 1804, Napoleon took the dramatic step of declaring himself Emperor of the French. A move that shocked many but was a reflection of his desire for legitimacy and absolute power. His coronation, which took place in Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, marked the end of the French Republic and the beginning of the Napoleonic Empire. As emperor, Napoleon focused on expanding his empire and solidifying his control over Europe. He pursued aggressive foreign policies, engaging in a series of wars known as the Napoleonic Wars, 1803 to 1815, aimed at reshaping Europe and spreading the ideals of the French Revolution. Napoleon's military genius and tactical brilliance were evident in his early victories. His decisive triumph at the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805, in which he defeated the Russian and Austrian armies, is considered one of the greatest military victories of all time. His forces secured dominance over much of Europe, and he established a network of satellite states and client monarchs, solidifying his influence across the continent. In the years that followed, Napoleon faced resistance from coalitions of European powers, particularly Britain, Austria, Russia, and Prussia. However, his military acumen and ability to inspire his troops allowed him to maintain control of much of Europe. Napoleon's forces were also instrumental in the creation of the Confederation of the Rhine, a group of German states that were allied with France. And his victory over Prussia in 1806 at the Battle of Jena-Auerstedt further expanded his empire. Despite his successes, Napoleon's reign was not without challenges. His decision to invade Russia in 1812 proved to be a monumental mistake. Driven by a desire to break the British-led blockade of Europe, Napoleon launched an ambitious campaign to force Russia into compliance. However, the Russian winter, combined with scorched earth tactics employed by the Russians, decimated Napoleon's Grand Army. Forcing it into a disastrous retreat, the Russian campaign marked a turning point in Napoleon's reign. Following the devastating losses, a coalition of European powers took advantage of his weakened position. In 1814, after a series of defeats in Germany and France, the Allies captured Paris, and Napoleon was forced to abdicate. He was exiled to the island of Elba, a small Mediterranean island, but his story did not end there. In 1815, Napoleon escaped from Elba and returned to France, where he quickly regained support and power in a period known as the 100 Days. He raised an army and marched to Belgium to confront the Allied forces. At the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815, Napoleon faced the combined forces of Britain, led by the Duke of Wellington, and Prussia. Commanded by Gebhard Lebericht von Blücher, despite initial success, Napoleon was ultimately defeated. The loss at Waterloo ended his reign and led to his second abdication. He was exiled to the remote island of Saint Helena, in the South Atlantic, where he spent the last years of his life. Napoleon died on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51, likely from stomach cancer. His death marked the end of a tumultuous and extraordinary career. Napoleon's legacy, however, has endured. His legal reforms, particularly the Napoleonic Code, have influenced legal systems around the world. His military tactics and strategies are still studied in military academies. His impact on European geopolitics reshaped the continent and set the stage for the modern era. Napoleon remains a deeply polarizing figure. To some, he was a visionary leader who brought stability and reforms to France, while to others, he was a power-hungry conqueror responsible for endless wars and suffering. Regardless of one's perspective, Napoleon Bonaparte's life and legacy have left an indelible mark on history. And his story continues to captivate and inspire people worldwide.